Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luke Ness Monster. Today we're going to be reviewing the Hot Toys 501st Battalion Clone Trooper, the Deluxe version. This is a figure that I have been contemplating getting for quite a while now, and I finally pulled the trigger, and now I am super happy to be reviewing it for you guys. So, taking a quick look at the box first. This box is super clean. It of course has this nice image of the 332nd Trooper on the front there. I think that looks absolutely amazing. The whole like lines on the box, it's super clean and I think it looks awesome. It does have this kind of like not fold out, but this like insert kind of banner that goes across the front, and it also has another image of the 332nd there, looking absolutely amazing. And like I said, this is a deluxe version, so if you did get the standard version, all of this would just be the 501st helmet and not the 332nd. So if packaging is something that you are really a big fan of and you want the 501st Trooper rather than the 332nd, you might want to jump on the standard version rather than deluxe. But this is deluxe, so of course it does have the deluxe sticker. On this side though, we do have a little bit more of that overlay and a very nice image of the 332nd looking super nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy open. So the box is a slip cover box, so it kind of comes off like you'd imagine like an iPhone box would come off, and it comes off like that. And then you are greeted by this amazing artwork. This is one of my favorite parts of the entire figure, I do have to say. Unfortunately, mine did get kind of creased in the mail, but yeah, this looks incredible. I love the snowy effect, and of course that the Z6 rotary cannon looks awesome. I call it the rotisserie blaster if you are new to the channel, but yeah, that looks absolutely incredible. And then once you take this out, I have already unboxed the figure. If you do want to see that, go check out my vlog. I'll pin it in the card if it is out. But you are greeted with a ton of packaging here. So let's go ahead and take a close look at the figure out of the box. So we do have the figure out of the box here, and this is how I will personally display mine. But of course it does come with a ton of different accessories and weapons and backpacks and everything like that. So honestly, there are tons of different ways you can display this. But this is how I personally will do it. But I will also go through all the different ways you can in this video if you guys do want to know. But yeah, this is my personal favorite way to do it. I love the accessories down here at the bottom looking nice and pretty. We will of course go over all the accessories as well in this video. But yeah, this was just my personal favorite way of displaying it. But let's go ahead and before we do get into like a close look of the figure, let's go and take a close look of all of the accessories it comes with. So these are all of the accessories that the deluxe figure comes with. It is a ton of figures, and I think it's a ton of accessories, and I think it's definitely worth that extra $30 to upgrade from the standard to the deluxe. The extra things you do get are pretty cool, so I will go over those right now. So the first item that is actually exclusive to the deluxe set is the backpack. Now this backpack is really cool. It has a ton of scuffing and nice paint weathering details that just looks absolutely incredible. It does have these nice cloth like straps, and it does have like little like pleather bits, I guess, kind of on top of it, and it feels super nice, and it looks great on the figure as well. And then it does have this cloth piece that actually connects via magnet. So I know on the older Sideshow figures it was a peg, and so this magnet is just so much easier. And of course you can fit whatever you want in it. I will probably keep the droid poppers and the extra hands in here. But yeah, super cool. I really do love this extra accessory. Another one of the exclusive accessories to the deluxe set is the rotary cannon. This is the main reason I actually bought the deluxe set. This rotary cannon looks absolutely incredible. It has a ton of detail, ton of weathering, and of course the rotary cannon actually spins. Mine feels a lot tighter than a lot of the other ones that I've seen people review, but yeah, this is incredible. It is a little hard to get him to hold at first, but I think it's definitely worth that deluxe upgrade. And then of course you do get the two exclusive helmets as well. First up is the 332nd. This helmet looks absolutely incredible. The scuffing and the kind of the wear and the tear and the paint job just looks absolutely incredible. This looks more of like a grayish color than it does white, which kind of threw me off at first, but honestly, I'm digging it and I think it looks really good. Of course, it just pegs into the normal neck hole, and you can swap it out with the normal helmet, but I do really love this helmet. And then next up is the Phase 1 helmet. This is one that I'm not as big of a fan of. I don't believe we ever saw a 501st Phase 1 in canon, but it honestly looks really good. I do love all the scuffing and chips in the paint. Only thing is, if you kind of look at the size between these two, this one feels a little big, like it's scaled up a little bit. But if you look at it from the side, this one looks bigger. So I think it's just kind of like the size difference between the helmet. It's very similar, but yeah, honestly, I think overall it looks pretty good. If I had to pick one of the helmets, though, I think I would have to go with the standard Phase 2 501st helmet, though. I love both of these, but I think the main reason I bought it was for the 501st. So everything else does come with the standard figures, so going up next, we do have the jetpack. This looks absolutely incredible. I love all the weathering and the paint apps. The paint apps are incredible. It does have this nice like foam here on the back, and that's actually because this is magnetic, so it just clips on via magnet to the back of the figure, and so that's there to protect your figure and prevent scratching, and I think it looks absolutely incredible. It does come with these blast effects that you can peg into the bottom and have it like your jetpack is actually jetpacking, which is pretty cool. I really do like that feature. It's something they didn't have to include, and I'm glad they did because it's a whole nother level of realism to the figure, and I do really love that. One thing that a lot of people don't actually know is that the rocket is removable. Pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know this was removable, and then I accidentally pulled it out, and I thought I broke it, but it is removable, actually. And one thing that I have seen some people do is put the blast effect on the rocket, which you can do, which is pretty cool, but they would put the blast effect in like this and kind of pretend like he is shooting out the rocket, and I absolutely love that. I think that's super cool, and I do really like that feature. Now, just looking at the normal blasters, first up we do have the standard clone blaster here, looking nice. I do have to say the pin for the stock here is very loose, and so it does go flopping around quite a bit, which is a little unfortunate, but this is supposed to be a stock which can go all the way back and be like a stock, but unfortunately it doesn't go all the way back on this one. I know on the old Sideshow figures they did go all the way back, but on this one it just doesn't, which is unfortunate, but the paint apps on this are incredible. It's a nice gunmetal color with some nice weathering here and there, but I do really like how this blaster came out. Next up is the rifle. This one doesn't have any bits of articulation on it, but it does look incredible. I would have preferred a little bit more weathering on it, but honestly I think it is pretty cool. I could look past it, at least the weathering part of it, but it does look incredible, and yeah, the paint apps are still really good despite the lack of weathering. But like I said, there is still weathering on it. It's just very, very faint. Much more than you're going to get with like any Black Series figure, because those are just going to be cast in that color and not going to have any paint on it at all. So this is a huge upgrade from that. But I would have preferred just a little bit more weathering. And then next up is the rocket launcher. Unfortunately, you cannot put the rocket in there, and I just bumped my camera. But unfortunately, you cannot put the rocket in there. There's no rocket that comes with it. But this accessory does look super, super cool. And I think this is mainly for the Jet Trooper, considering that Jet Troopers do carry rocket launchers, and it looks pretty cool. Then last up for accessories, you do have extra hands. So this hand is actually the standard hand that comes on it straight out of the box. I did actually swap that one out for a trigger hand, so that trigger hand is currently on the figure. But this is the opposite trigger hand if you do want to put a gun in the left hand rather than the right hand. It does also have a pointing finger, which I thought was super cool. It does have a open hand one, kind of like a stop, or like I'm kind of like a force hand kind of too, but I don't think a clone would ever need that. But you know, just nice if you ever want to use it. I think there's tons of things you could use it for. One I do really like is the thumbs up hand. Not super necessary either, but I think it would make for some cool poses. And then last up is the kind of like command hand, or I guess you could consider it a finger gun, but it's more of like a command hand, and I do really like that one. And I think it can be used for a lot of different things, so this is one of my favorite ones that they did include. And then last up, they did also include some like grenades. So first up is just like a normal thermal detonator. You're going to want to use this hand for that to hold it, as it is probably the only hand that can hold it, but it holds it pretty well. It's not going to come out. And then they also do have a flat one, kind of, which I believe is their like sticky kind of grenade where it sticks to surfaces. It would have been cool if they had a magnet in this, but it doesn't. And then you're going to put that in the same hand. Stays in pretty well. Anyway, guys, this figure does come with a ton of accessories, so let's go ahead and pose them with a few of these different accessories. But to pose them, you're going to want a stand, and this stand does look incredible. It does have the Star Wars 501st Battalion Clone Trooper plaque on it, which is super metallic. But I actually do love just this display base. It's a nice, I believe it's like a Separatist floor, but it does look really cool. It does have this malleable rod as the stand, which can come out, and it's like a bendable rod, but it is kind of tight, so it's not going to be moving or going around on you. And of course it does have the little clip, which you can clip onto the figure to hold them in place. This can go up and down on the rod, so of course if you do want them at like a standing pose, you'd probably put it at this, but if you want them kind of flying with the jetpack, you would move this all the way up, and then of course the cap just fell off, but that is what you would do. So here is just kind of like a standard pose with him holding the rifle. I think it looks really cool. I personally would like to use more of the accessories though, because of course you did pay for that extra deluxe price. And but I still think this looks amazing, and if this is how you want to display it, I say go for it, because honestly anything you display this figure with is going to look great. This is one that I like. You could also do with, of course, I did throw on the 332nd helmet, but he does have the like gesturing hand, and that's one I do like. My one problem with the gesturing hand is that it is the right hand, and I think most times the gesturing is going to be with the left hand. So that is my biggest problem, is because he, of course, can't hold the weapon while he's using the gesturing hand. But, you know, it is what it is, and that is why I actually like the pointer finger hand more, and we'll get into that one in just a second. Now, this is the one that I like with the pointing hand, and you kind of have him like pointing down an enemy, and I actually really like that quite a bit. I did, of course, throw on the Phase 1 helmet on this guy. Like I said, these helmets are interchangeable and can be used for whatever you want, so it's really what your preference is. But yeah, I do really like the pointing hand. I think this is a great way to use it. Then, of course, one of my favorites is the thumbs up hand. Kind of random. I feel like there's not a ton of scenarios you can use it, but this is one, just a clone trooper going thumbs up. I really like that. Pretty subtle, and every time I see that, it reminds me of like a Battlefront 2 emote, so I think that'd be the main way I use it, but I do really dig it. One of my personal favorite combos is him with the Z6 rotary cannon and the backpack. One of my favorite ones altogether. Definitely reminds me of like a Battlefront 2 heavy class, and I do really dig it. Of course, you can't really see it, but I will spin it around to the back. He does have the backpack, which the stand does kind of get in the way of, but of course you can take him off the stand and it still looks amazing. But yeah, this is one of my personal favorites, and definitely one I might have to display it as, because it looks absolutely incredible. And you know, of course you can have him get down and do like the rocket launcher pose, which is super cool. I love that. This was super easy to get him in this pose too. Like, you just kind of bend his leg and get him in it, and it looks really good. I actually like how that looks quite a bit. And then, of course, you can use the flight stand and the jetpack and get him in a super cool flight pose. Biggest problem right there is that the gun isn't like super straight. But yeah, this guy looks super cool. I'm having him throwing one of the grenades. But yeah, it looks super cool. I love how that looks. The flight stand is very solid and is not going to tip too much on you. Of course, you can't see the jetpack and the blast effects. Like I said, the jetpack is magnetic and can just come right off like that and go right back on very easily. But yeah, overall, I am absolutely in love with this figure. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. This is pretty amazing. This is my first ever Hot Toys / Sideshow figure, and it's pretty incredible, I do have to say. I say definitely go for the deluxe version if you can. It comes with a ton more accessories that I think are totally worth it. But yeah, this figure is incredible, and if you are on the fence about getting this at all, I say go for it because it is totally worth it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.